What is going on, guys? It is King John here, and I just watched a video called "Made the Bus Monitor Cry." Now, this is probably the most disturbing fucking video I've seen in a long time. I'm so like flustered by it that I don't even know what to say at this point. So this is the video. You guys can probably find it on your own if you want to watch it. I don't recommend it because it's disturbing, okay? It's downright disturbing. So it goes like this. There's a lady just, I don't know, 60 years old or so, I think it said. And it had said that she was on the bus. I'm fucking like so freaking flustered by it. She was on the school bus or whatever. She's a monitor, 23 years at this place, okay? And these little middle schoolers now, they're middle schoolers. So you're talking anywhere from 10 to what, 15? If not, I don't even think it's even that. I think they're about 15 when they go to high school. They're berating this woman for no apparent reason whatsoever. Calling her a fat ass, telling her she's a fat bitch, telling her to fuck off, she's a troll. This one kid, he was like grabbing at her skin and flicking her ear. She had a like an ear thing in, you know, because apparently she must have bad hearing or something. I don't know the exact, whatever. What a hearing aid. I knew I'd get it. So this goes on for probably 10 minutes or so. Yeah, I think the video was a little over 10 minutes long. You troll, you fat ass, yada yada yada. And then we get towards the end of the video, about 8 minutes in. She says, I know all your addresses. And then all of a sudden these boys get all, I'm tough, yeah, fucking tough, right? So they start threatening to stab her, and they're gonna throw cheeseburgers at her face. And there's one kid recording the video who I'd like to get a hold of, trust me. In his response, he says, go ahead and I'll have my bulldog bite your fat face off. Go ahead and I will have my bulldog bite your fat face off. Now, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, man, it literally like made me sick to my stomach. Now, I'm not a Sally, don't get me wrong, but about brought tears to my eyes to watch this. Never, ever in my life have I seen such disrespectful berating to a person that did nothing wrong. 10 minutes long. Could have went even longer for all we know. The video was only recorded for 10 minutes. This lady endured this punishment and said nothing and did nothing. She took what she could. Really? So I go to read on, and apparently these boys' addresses are out on the internet now, and karma's a bitch, boys. And I know you're watching these response videos. I'm hoping you come across this, because karma is a bitch. And it will come back to haunt you, I promise. I know you're like, talk already. I'm fucking, like, I'm so frustrated, so flustered by all this. It's sickening to my stomach to literally see this. This woman's, I think it said something like 61, 62 years old, bus monitor, fairly bigger woman. I mean, she's an older lady. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? She did no harm to these kids. They're like grabbing at her purse. Sorry for the darkness, guys. It'll end in a second. Grabbing at her purse, asking her where she bought her jewelry because it's got to be fake. They're like, you're a fake fat bitch, and Now listen, I mean, I've gotten my bouts and fouts with, you know, my fellow man, don't get me wrong. And we've picked on people. I mean, in a sense, we've bullied others, but only others that can take the bully. What I mean is, you know, you call a black guy black or call him other names. I don't think I can really say them on YouTube, so I won't. And then he calls me a peckerwood white crackerhead. You know, I've never bullied anybody that didn't deserve to be bullied. And, like, I didn't call somebody fat for being fat while he ran away crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never bullied anybody to the extent that they were being harmed by what I was saying. At least not that I know of, anyway. And if I ever have, man, I'm sorry for that. But bullying don't get you shit. You disrespectful little fuckers. And the reason I did this video is because whose parents allow these kids to talk like this? Like, I get you can't control what your kids are doing, and you can't really be like monitoring them all the time. But now this video was taken on the school bus, okay? And then uploaded to whatever site, I'm gonna guess YouTube, because it got over 200 some odd thousand hits. So I'm gonna guess it's YouTube, I don't know for sure. Who's not monitoring the shit that they're doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, at 12 years old, my son would not be doing at 12 years old, if I ever spoke like that, my mother knocked the teeth right out of my mouth. Period. There'd be no question about it. And my mother let me get away with some shit. I mean, I wasn't like a sheltered child that, you know, and I've told my mother, you know, some pretty evil things, but she let me know it's not okay. I'm angry. Really, I really am. I'm angry. And I'd like to grab a hold of these little fucks and teach them what a bully's about. You want to act tough? Then be tough, huh? I know I'm 24 years old. And I know these are just kids, don't get me wrong. But I know 14-year-old boys that'll beat the shit out of these boys. You understand what I'm saying? If you're going to act tough, be tough, all right? And you know, you blame like, oh, you're like, all right, so this is what's on my mind about it. So recently there's been this thing going on about video games. Now, if you don't know me, then you don't know. Then my channel on YouTube is a video game channel. But there's been a lot of talk about, oh, video games this, video games that. Video games rot your minds, okay? This is something I was going to do a video about anyway, so I'll just throw it in this because it kind of pertains to what I want to say at the end. So, what it is now is, I was at work the other day, and this man says, I'm talking about zombies on Call of Duty, on Black Ops 1, and I'm talking about how I've been doing videos on it or whatever, and I'm finally making the higher rounds and getting my own strategy going or whatever. He goes, yeah, I bought that for my son there the year it came out to Christmas. It came out. Now his son, he said his son was 9 years old, okay? So, he says, but it's not allowed in my house, or it's not allowed to be played in my house, because I told him, I said, you know, I gave him my gamer tag. He said, if you ever want to play co-op zombies or whatever, I'll hit you up or whatever. And he said it's not allowed to be played in my house. So I said, well, why is that? He goes, because we had bought it for him or whatever, and he's upstairs playing it. And he goes, we bought him that Xbox Live. So he goes, wait, so how did he say it? Oh, he said we'd left somewhere or whatever. Came back and we could hear my son screaming upstairs. So my wife went up and she said that he was screaming at the video game. She told him to relax or whatever. Short time later, apparently the boy started screaming and swearing at the other kids online. He kept dying, okay? Now, the dad goes up or whatever, and he's like, you know, you can't do that. Mom comes right up, takes the game. She goes, no, there's no more of this, and whatever. So the reason I'm even talking about this is because, first of all, when you buy your kid an Xbox Live account, make sure it's known that it's a child's account. You can like do family settings where they can't play with people within a certain level of gaming or whatever. Why is my hand yellow? Anyway, so you went and bought your kid Xbox Live, didn't monitor it, obviously, because you wouldn't be able to do that stuff. Because again, you're gonna have family settings to where you can't swear and all that, whatever. And then you go and buy them Call of Duty Black Ops. Now, the mother's response was, I didn't know it was that kind of game. There's a guy in the cover of the game, okay, that has 2 guns in his hand with guns on his back, right? She didn't know it was a shooter. What? Now, you first of all, when you go buy anything for your kids, research it, obviously, because you're not thinking right and correctly. You need to research shit. And not only that, on top of the game, okay, it says mature, right? I think it's bottom left or right corner. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't looked at the game in a while. It says mature. You know, you can't just play this game. It's for teenage. Your son couldn't go buy it. So why do you think you had to go buy it for him? And then you have the audacity to blame video games. But it's not video games that make these kids swear. It's your monitoring. Look, if you can't control how your kid speaks and talks and acts, then don't buy them a video game where they shoot and argue with each other online. Okay? That's what these games are made for. These are made for adults, 17, 18 years old. They're made for people to shoot and get mad at each other. That's what these video games do. That's what I do when I play them. That's what my friends do when we play them. So why are you going to get mad now because this lady did this post thing in our local paper about video games and how bad they were or whatever? Like, first of all, it's a proven fact that video games not only help your child's brain function, okay, your hand-eye coordination jumps up to 40% with excessive video games. This is not making this stuff up. I don't know, who researched it, whatever, but I'm not making this stuff up. So first of all, don't tell me video games are bad and they rot your minds, because you're out of your damn mind, alright? I'm sure it's not good for some children, but those children should be known. Look, if your son's got rage issues, then you don't buy him a game where he has a gun in it. You get what I'm saying? Like, this, it's just common sense to me. So stop blaming video games for the issues. You know, in my town, where it's a small town, and we hunt and whatever, you know what I mean? It's a country town. And at 7 years old, they get their first guns, give or take. I've heard younger. And then shit like people shooting each other happens. Oh, it was that video game. The kid's been a trained sniper since he was 7 years old. And you wonder why. How did they get access to these guns in the first place? You're thinking of the wrong root of problems for these things. And the reason I'm even talking about this now to this is because I saw that response. Oh, it's because these kids talk like this in video games and yada yada. Don't blame the video games, okay? Listen, you're not doing it. You're doing this to your children. You're not monitoring your children, and you're not telling your children how it goes. Okay? I would never ever talk like this when I was a child, because my mother would never allow it. I snuck it with my friends, don't get me wrong. But the bottom line is, guys, listen, if you're gonna bully each other, it's not good, but there's a lot of